On my side, we good. You feel me?
Yeah.
Corbin, I hate to break it to you. It's not looking good for you. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Queenie. For those who don't know me, reviewing Love Island USA Season 8, Episode 7. Before I get into it, please make sure to like this video, subscribe and hit the bell, and leave a comment down below. Shout out to all the new subscribers. Hey! How y'all doing? If you watched at least 2 videos and you're not subscribed, you don't get a shout out. That's not for you. Anyways, getting into the episode, we have the guys, especially Sincere, who were not impressed with Melanie and her over-the-top reactions. I mean, Melanie's like, no, I was excited for Kenzie. And I do think that that's the case. Even Kata was like, no, that was for Kenzie, that was for Kenzie. Be that as it may, it's still not a good look. Not at all. The guys are realizing that some of the girls are selfish in the way that they act, and they're getting tired of it very quickly. So the girls are getting to know Caleb, and still, obviously, everybody's really excited for Kenzie.
Started welding like AC units, like that.
Sorry, there's someone real excited about that. How do you feel about blondes with blue eyes?
Oh shit, he knows my name. I was like, ah!
It was funny to me how they all were like, oh no, Kenzie, that's your man, because it made me think of 2 things, and I feel like they're both true, right? Of course, this guy coming in is probably gonna have eyes for Kenzie. Listen, we're not even gonna interfere. You can have that. Or, we ain't checking for you, dog. So, so it doesn't matter to us if you were all for Kenzie or if Kenzie is all for you. Nobody's pressed. Y'all remember when Corbin came in? The girls were like, wait, I'm trying to talk to him too. Wait, I'm trying to see how many times was Corbin pulled for a chat that first full day he had? How many times? Ain't nobody pulled Caleb for no chat. Bea did. And that's about it. Everybody else is like, no, you good, Kenzie. You can have him. Ain't no problem. When the guys are getting to know the bombshells, Zach is quick to say, I'm happy where I'm at. You ain't got to worry about me. All the rest of the guys are basically like, no, we're still open, even Sincere.
State-of-the-art Christmas presents at my front door. I'm actually going to open up the gifts and see what it's talking about. I mean, me and Melanie have an interesting dynamic.
The loudest on the bed was his girl.
That's a major red flag for me. Not necessarily like oh, I'm over it. It's kind of unraveling.
No, you need to be over it, my love. You need to be over it. We also need to be over these metaphors because first it was the 2 fish, now it's the 2, what did he say? Something Christmas presents, like state of the art? Was it state of the art? I don't know. Yeah, I'm tired of the Melanie Sincere thing, only because her antics are so unnecessary for Sincere specifically. We have seen people in the past who be playing in their girl's face, and if the girl wants to play it back, fine, right? But in this case, in my opinion, I know people are still mad about him talking to Kata, but I really don't think it was that deep. In my opinion, this man hasn't given her a reason to act the way that she's been acting. So it's like, do you want to hurt me just for sport? She explains later why she's acting the way she's acting. And it's great that you know the reason, but it's still not fair for you to do. Like, you being over the top is so unfair, especially to somebody who doesn't even give you a reason to do what you're doing. Yes, she was having that reaction for Kenzie, but you can have a big reaction and not do like the, oh, yeah, oh my God. You could be like, Kenzie, that's your Kenzie. Kenzie, that's your man, Kenzie. Like, you could make it clear, this hype is for my girl. And you also got to realize too, just in the game, he saw you acting up, and we're gonna get into that, okay? He just saw you acting up, and now you're doing this. In his brain, he's not gonna think, oh no, these 2 things are dissociated. He's gonna put them together. And of course, his feelings are gonna be hurt. Speaking of hurt feelings, Anaya, she feels like Casey's reaction was also unsavory. I don't think it was as big as Melody's, so there's that. And it's interesting. Wait a minute now. Of course, her feelings are involved with Casey, so she's gonna take things personal when it's him. But Melanie's been doing a madness to somebody who you consider a friend, too Sincere. But you don't ever want to check Melanie for her behavior, and that is interesting. That's interesting. I want to know what the reason is. Like, Casey did something that pales in comparison to what Melanie has been doing for a few days now. But you got way more smoke for him. Sure, you're in a couple, whatever. than you ever have with Melanie. I have never seen Anaya, y'all can point me to a scene where this did happen, but I don't recall. I've never seen Anaya actually check Melanie on any of her behavior. Anyways, that was a side comment. Similar to Melanie though, I think that Casey, like, wrong place, wrong time. This is not the moment to be making a joke, to be trying to make people laugh, whatever. Like, you gotta be aware that Anaya is right beside you. Come on. And you know what triggered me a little bit with that whole situation? Was it a big deal? No, not necessarily. But I have been talking to whatever, somebody who was just so unserious. And Anaya has the right to say, hey, that's not gonna work for me. Whether it's big or little to whoever else is perceiving it, if she's like, I don't want somebody who makes everything a joke, she has the right to say that. Listen, the way that this man used to laugh about every single thing. I'm trying to be serious with you. You're trying to make a joke. Even when something serious is happening to you, you try to make a joke and it's like, bro, I can't. I wonder if that man's still laughing because obviously we're not together since I'm married now. But like, everything's a joke. Everything. That gets old. Speaking of things getting old, Zach is like, the girls have double standards. And I'm over it. Because what do you mean you're going to be upset that the guys were kissing the bombshells as if we had a choice? But then tutus, you're here wrapping your legs around Caleb. And I'm just supposed to be okay with that? No, that ain't right. Melanie and Sincere have a conversation. And the beginning was very awkward.
I feel very disrespected. You're sitting there kissing every single body. And they're literally going ping pong with me and Corbin. I felt disrespected and embarrassed.
Do you know that I didn't know that that was Corbin, right? Like I couldn't see.
He's clearly different than I am.
I keep hurting his feelings. I think sometimes I guess I just do too much. But I know. I fucked up.
Now, Melanie. This girl's gonna say, oh, I didn't know that was Corbin. It could be Jack, Jacob, Jingleheimer. So it doesn't matter who it was. The fact of the matter is, you knew that you were kissing two people going back and forth. The other person might not even be sincere. The fact is, you were doing this back and forth, jingle, jangle, jongle thing. Like, girl, as iconic as it was for me as a viewer, it's very hurtful for Sincere to have to witness thing after thing after thing, or you blowing things up out of proportion and not giving him a chance to speak. Like, it's annoying. So I definitely feel for Sincere in this moment. He does say, I didn't like how big your reaction was for Caleb, and she wasn't defensive about that, which is good. We're getting some growth, you know? She wasn't defensive about that. She says, again, that was for Kenzie. It wasn't even, but she's realizing the more she's trying to make a moment out of something, the more she's like messing things up with Sincere, because she's lacking social awareness, spatial awareness, self-awareness. Like, she's just not aware at all. I love that Sincere had a moment of introspection. He was like, honestly, I think I have myself to blame at this point. I've seen the way that Melanie acts and I'm still here. I'm still giving her grace. I'm still making excuses. But at the end of the day, this is all a choice. Like, she can do whatever she wants to do, but if I'm sticking around, I'm choosing to be in this situation. So that's on me. I loved that. Like, yeah, in the villa, you do have to be coupled up or whatever. But at this point, he could be like, let's just be friends. Especially because you wanted me to be your friend the other day. You could be my friend for the rest of the process. Anaya and Casey have a conversation on the dock, and I felt so bad for her. Like, the girl was on the verge of, I think she did end up crying. But most of the conversation, you could see them tears just pulling up.
How do you feel?
Honestly, I'm really upset.
The last thing I want to make you feel is like shit. Don't cry.
You played too much and then you were making faces.
That's me. You know that's me. She's not my type. I think Soul's very pretty. There's no reason to end what we have going on.
Like I said earlier, it definitely was a bad look that he made that joke. And I saw somebody on TikTok say there probably was a reason why Casey felt the need to give Anaya the pep talk that he gave her. It didn't just come out of nowhere. It's possible that it did, but their theory was that it didn't just come out of nowhere. So for him to know that she's been feeling the way that she's feeling, enough for him to give her a pep talk, and then for him to say something in that moment that was going to embarrass her, like, you can understand why Anaya is taking this harder than maybe some other people would, because you see Casey, you know everything's a joke. You might not read into it as much as Anaya has, but if there's some extra context that we're not aware of and he's aware of, I could see why she's as upset as she is. Now, in this conversation, he is reassuring her, or so I thought. She's not going to see it as reassurance the next day. But he does say, I do think that Soul is attractive. I'm going to see if anything develops. I'm not going to close things off, but my priority is still you. Before bed, we have a few conversations. Zach says that he is closed off with Kayda. He's gonna quickly regret saying that. He is still upset with her behavior. So he's like, you know what, in bed, I don't really want to be cuddling and be all lovey-dovey. So yeah, it's gonna be a little bit awkward for them. Corbin says neither bombshell did it for him. But I could have sworn in the confessional he was real excited for the bombshells, but all right. He claims he only has eyes for Kenzie and he's willing to risk being vulnerable for her. I said, wow. Okay. In the morning, Zach says he feels like he's in a relationship and he's basically suffocating. You're the one who's... You're the one who said you're close off though. So like Zach kind of lost me there. I was like, she's not suffocating you. You're the one who locked things off. So like, okay, that was interesting. Sincere says that Soul is dreaming. Bea is first to take Caleb for a chat, but it was very basic, a very basic conversation. Gabriel, he has a chat with Soul on the grass. He then takes Soul up to Soul Ties.
They're gonna be like, he took her to Soul Ties.
What the fuck is going on?
But why are they in Soul Ties, though?
When I talk with you, you're very like mature. Going out with you, I know everyone gonna look at you.
I turn heads when I be out in the public.
I know what I want. You know what I want.
Yeah.
It's so funny how Love Island has its own culture, right? Because in the UK, if you go on the terrace, like that's a statement, or even the Hideaway. On US, if you go in Soul Ties, people are assuming you're going there to make out with your person. So the fact that he took Soul up to Soul Ties, people already knew what was up. The kiss wasn't great though. She wiped her lips. I said, oh. What was so off-putting? I would like to know. Bryce is talking to Trinity about Melanie's behavior. This isn't the first time that he has pointed out Melanie's behavior. He has said, I don't like the fact that she'll be doing all that she's doing and then think that, you know, Sincere is just supposed to deal with it. Like, you can tell Trinity thinks that it was iconic, but Bryce is like, no, that's not funny. Like, that's very disrespectful. And I'm big on respect, right? In a previous conversation when he was talking about Melanie, he was like, well, Melanie and Sincere, he was like, I wouldn't even take too much stock in the couples that look good, because once they have a little tiff, their whole relationship breaks down. And it's like, well, was your communication even that good if it takes so little to ruin your connection? That's why he's happy with Trinity. He says that their communication is really good. They're able to explore things and not be offended by each other, but they're still building on the foundation that they already have. I will say there was something that he said. Yes. He had said that he knows the blonde girl. He said it when they first walked in, right? Trinity is obviously aware of this, but she still gave Soul and Jen a tour with Bea. And, God, there's so many names. And this man, can't think of it right now, was like, and look at her, she's so warm. Like, even after what I said, she still wants to give Jen a tour and all of that. So I'm like, you know what, Bryce, I'm picking up what you're putting down. I'm picking up what you're putting down. I still want more for Trinity. But if a guy doesn't come in and Trinity has to stay with Bryce, I won't be mad. This isn't like the Austin situation where I was, oh man, I wanted Austin to leave Shelly alone. Ah, that bothered me bad. But Bryce and Trinity, you know what? I can get with it. I can get with it. Eventually, Trinity brings up Jen and he's like, oh yeah, we used to model together. I was like their fake boyfriend or whatever. Like it's really nothing that deep. You have nothing to worry about. And I'm glad she waited till the next day to bring it up. And even the way she brought it up, it didn't give, you know, oh, I'm insecure, or tell me about that girl. Like, not at all. Speaking of insecurities, Anaya, they're starting to bubble up a little bit regarding Casey. And I'll be honest, I think she's reading into this.
But I feel like Casey was like right up on him like this.
Crazy.
Yes, it's crazy as fuck. Do you think I'm fucking stupid? Do you
Okay,
think I
see-
not have eyeballs? He didn't make me feel reassured at all. Like,
His ex looked like her.
seriously?
Yeah.
Yeah, great.
Just keep that in like a thought in your head.
I'm realizing that maybe the reason why Anaya is not quick to call out Melanie's behavior is because they have the same history. It just shows up different. So Anaya's not the type to like pop off or be petty and whatever. But it seems she too has a history of just being burned by a lot of guys. So she's just gonna assume if anything happens that's a little bit out of line, then like, you know, you were always gonna do this to me, or I knew I couldn't trust you, or something like that. Not as overtly as Melanie does it, but I think that they mirror each other when it comes to their insecurities or their past, right? Because even when she's talking about the conversation she had with Casey, she's like, yeah, he didn't even reassure me at all. I said, really? I don't know, that conversation sounded reassuring to me. Like, I could be tripping, but it sounded reassuring to me. She didn't like the fact that he had all that red paint over him, but yes, you were blindfolded and you're gonna think that a lot more happened, but it really wasn't that. And she's the one who has paint on her. It's not like he had paint and her whole body was covered. She also came in before even the second bombshell came in, and some other girls still had to go. So paint could have been spread. Now, we're not going with the paint mixing theory like Casey did, but the paint really could have spread, right? So I'm just like, yeah, I think we're reading into things. Even the arm thing. Oh, you see, the list continues. Even the arm thing. He was like, I was already sitting like this. She came and she sat here. It wasn't me deliberately putting my arm around her, right? Now, that one, Casey could have put his arm down, but I could see how that one is just like an oversight. They later have a conversation and she brings up what Sincere said to her, which is that Casey has dated a girl who looks like Soul. Now, she added a little bit of paprika. She put some adobo on the story and she was like, yeah, and this is the type that you always go for. Sincere never said that. He never said that. But she's like rambling, and Casey's just waiting for a moment to say something. When it's finally his time to speak, he's like, listen, I like you. I want to pursue you. I'm sorry for the way that I reacted. That was poor on my part. I completely understand that. Soul is beautiful, but I'm not interested, at least at the date of publication. It's me and you, girl. And this time, she thought this was the reassurance that she was looking for. Kata's also having a moment where her insecurities are bubbling up, but I can't fully blame her because Zach is gonna say, yeah, I don't know, I'm feeling a little bit suffocated. I don't think we should have been closed off this early. You closed it off. You did this though. So why are you making it seem like she's putting it on you when you're the one who put that title? Like, okay. Unfortunately for him, because he's then going to have a conversation with a bombshell when he gave Kata the impression that he wasn't interested in the bombshells, she's going to start to spiral.
Hey, girls.
Hey.
He's pulling her. He's trying to like make me feel some type of way.
Do you like One Direction?
I love One Direction.
I'm a Zayn guy.
Obsessed. Of course
Zayn,
you are.
yeah.
Have you been to Soul Ties yet?
I have not. I definitely heard him in my ear whenever I was kissing you.
Kata and Melanie are definitely the same person in different fonts. Like, we have yet to scratch the surface with both of these women, but especially Kata. Kata, I'm scared. I'm scared. Obviously, because the show was filmed, we're not going to see what we've already seen from Kata online, but the potential is definitely there. The funny thing is, she's now talking to Caleb and like she's flirting with him. She's getting to know, you know, more about his life and whatever. Zach's conversation with Jen was about One Direction and Taylor Swift. Like it was such a nothing conversation. But yeah, I can see something brewing with Kata. Sincere takes Soul for a conversation, my lord. Oh my God. It was a good conversation. Very wholesome at the beginning.
Have you dated anyone with short hair before?
No, but I love it.
My dad like passed away, so I started getting like stress alopecia. And now I'm
Hesitant?
kind of just like rocking it.
You should. My grandma, like before she had passed, I love your long hair. Like, don't cut it, never cut it. I can never cut this shit now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can't wait to have more chats with you.
Yeah.
Man, oh man.
You know, they're having a nice conversation that escalated to a point. These two have great kissing chemistry. They do. I'm back to talking about kisses because they're kissing less now. So, you know, we can actually talk about the kisses and not be disgusted. Their kiss chemistry is great. It's really good. Simultaneously, Melanie's having a conversation about her past, and she basically was trying to get Sincere before she gets got, but unfortunately, she's the only person getting got by her own behavior. And the unfortunate thing is, now that Sincere is going so hard for Soul, Melanie might entertain the thought of, well, see, this always happens to me. I told you this always happens to me. Instead of thinking, I kind of put myself in this situation, not to make him kiss the other girl, but to give him the green light to explore as much as he is, because she wanted to act a plum fool. And that's just gonna have to be her cross to bear. It's unfortunate that she has been so hurt in the past and she hasn't had time to really process that. And like one of them said, hurt people hurt people. She's clearly still hurt. And she's gonna mess up a good thing. She already has messed up a good thing by making Sincere atone for the sins of people he doesn't even know. In the evening, Gabriel has a conversation with Jen, and Bea is like, well, I knew this was gonna happen.
I saw Gabe talking.
He's gonna do whatever the fuck he wants.
He probably already told you that. You probably
No, he didn't. Make myself more anxious for what? A man that's not my man?
Yeah.
You gotta hold on me.
I love how you grab my face.
Are we interrupting? Oh my God. The only thing I got from this conversation was that she either used to live in Miami or plans to live in Miami, and he's happy about that. She's basically Kenzie with the culture that he was looking for, because he said Kenzie was his type, but they had a culture clash, right? And he wasn't really feeling that. It seems like she's given him, what's her name? Jen is giving him what he's looking for. So, yeah, sorry, Bea. I'm so sorry, girl. Anyway, speaking of Kenzie, she's talking to Caleb. Listen, Caleb is just like me, literally. The man is born November 22nd. The man loves steak. The man wants max 4 kids. He said his biggest fear is losing family. I was like, I feel like I'm watching myself on the show, just a white male version. This was, yeah. So for that reason alone, I like you, Caleb. I also had a realization that this is the most I've heard from a conversation that Kenzie has had with somebody. Like, I don't think I've learned more about anybody else until now. So I'm like, oh, she really likes this guy. Like, it's not just about a sexual connection. She actually wants to get to know him on a deeper level. The episode ends with Soul and Sincere. Y'all know they're calling them So Sincere online. It's cute. It's cute. They have a conversation in the speakeasy, and I fear this may be the end for Sincere and Melanie.
He shouldn't pick her. I do feel like I fit him more.
I like them. I genuinely like them together.
Imagine this outside of this.
Y'all all think this? Am I the outlier?
I was a big fan of our chat. I was a big fan of the kiss.
I'm gonna do bad things.
Why she catching them kissing?
Doing bad things.
Oh, perfect timing.
Anaya, baby, okay, oh Lord. The fact that Anaya is the only person who doesn't see that Melanie and Sincere should not be together, at least not right now. Maybe they need time to grow, get off the show, recalibrate, but the way things are going right now, it is heading down a dangerous, dangerous path, and every single person can see it. And that's why I'm like, maybe there's a mirroring between Anaya and Melanie. It's just that Anaya doesn't, project as much as Melanie does. So that's interesting. The conversation with So Sincere, I'm just gonna say So Sincere, it was nice. It was nice. The kisses were nice too. Melanie was seconds away from catching their kiss. It also should be noted that she doesn't even know about the first kiss that happened earlier in the day. So they have a conversation after, being Melanie and Sincere, and he's like, yeah, I mean, I do like her. I like you too. We're in a couple. I'm not going to just throw you away, but I do like her. Then Melanie asks about the kiss. He's like, yeah, we did kiss in the speakeasy. Melanie's face cracked, and I felt so bad for her.
Did you guys kiss in the speakeasy?
Coming from a vulnerable place. But it wasn't like nothing crazy. And I'm being honest with you here. And I want our connection to work.
Yeah.
I actually felt so bad for her. I was like, damn. Like, we understand you were operating from a place of hurt, but actions have consequences. Like, I'm so sorry, babe. But I did still feel for her. Like, she was so sad. And she was sad until the conversation ended. Like, she couldn't think about anything else. She's like, you kissed her? Wow. And she doesn't even know about the kiss in the morning. Oof, Lord. We're going to see what happens in the next episode. I know y'all are going to be messy. Y'all are going to put Soul and Sincere in a couple. Caleb and Kenzie, most likely, in a couple. And then Jen with maybe Gabriel? Ooh. But does that mean there's going to be a dumping? Are we doing another dumping? Maybe not yet. Maybe we can still wait for another dumping. But if there is a dumping, it's likely going to be Bea. Because who would Melanie go with if... Oh, no. Okay, Corbin. Yeah, so it's probably going to be Bea. But we'll see. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one.